What's up? I'm here?
Yeah, let's get it going.
Oh, I'm at table 22?
There you go.
No coincidence, right?
What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah.
Anthony,
Anthony, how you doing, brother?
Hey, how's it going, Brian?
All right. Oh, man.
how you doing?
Good, brother. How about you?
Good.
I think this is brother Chris.
How you doing, Chris?
And there's your new buddy down there, Randy Gratishar.
Oh, okay. Gratishar in there?
Yeah, he's down there.
Okay, cool.
Stop by and say hi.
All right.
Are we ready to go?
Is this a mic?
Yep. It works fantastic. Ready to rock and roll? All right, here we go. Emmitt Smith coming down in 3, 2, and 1. And welcome back to the Diehards here on the SportsMap Radio Network. Radio Row, I'm still calling it Radio Row. I know people are calling it Media Row, but it's Radio Row. Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. We are firmly on the Las Vegas Strip. And we're going to hop to the Progressive Insurance guest mic. Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your home and auto. Save when you bundle. Get a quote at progressive.com. Played 15 seasons in the NFL, 13 with the Cowboys, 2 with Arizona. NFL's all-time leading rusher. 3-time Super Bowl champ. Super Bowl MVP. My mom's favorite on Dancing with the Stars. The great Emmitt Smith. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This doesn't get old, does it?
No, not really. This is the cool part of it, having the chance to walk around, speak to guys, see former players, talk about the game from a different perspective, be associated with the big game, obviously from the outside looking in now, but having both experiences, this is kind of cool.
Can you take us back to 2002 when you passed Walter Payton, the all-time leading rusher? I actually worked for a sports station in Boston, and we had a client that was a big Cowboys fan. My GM at the time said to me, hey, do you want to take this client down to see Emmitt break the record? I said, really? Yeah, okay. I was actually there.
Really?
That night you broke the record.
Okay.
So this is kind of, we've come full circle here.
Yeah.
What was that night like?
That day was an amazing day. I mean, it was a moment where I realized that I had a chance to do something that no other man has ever done, and to do it in the honor of Walter Payton was just the ultimate. The icing on the cake would have been to have him there in the stands with me.
Sure.
Because he and I talked about his record. We talked about a lot of different things when I met him in 92, 93. We talked about it, and so I had this vision. If it happened, I would do it with him in the stands or in the stadium with me, celebrating with me and his family. And so, but unfortunately, that's not how life is. Not always that way. And so, but I did celebrate it with his family, his brother, his mom.
Did you feel bad at all breaking Walter
Payton's
Payton's record?
No, I did not feel bad. I did not feel bad. Matter of fact, he wouldn't have felt bad.
All right, fair enough.
At the end of the day, he understands and I understand that records are made to be broken.
Yep.
But he also knew that he knows what's required to get there. And he knows how hard it is. I understand how hard it is and how difficult it is and how many things got to come together. And so he trust me, he was not mad, and he's not mad now. He's smiling down upon me like I'm smiling up at him. I saw his son Jared yesterday. Got a chance to hang out with him too as well. So, I mean, to me, it's about embracing history and the folks that come before you. When I think about Walter and I think about Jim Brown, the late Jim Brown now, these are guys that paved the way for young players like myself and many others. And so when you embrace that kind of history, you really want to run right alongside it and represent it in the right way.
Emmitt, you played 13 seasons with Dallas, 2 seasons with Arizona. I'm not counting those 2 seasons with Arizona. You must get that a lot. Like, why did you sign with Arizona? It just doesn't feel right. How do you respond to people when they ask you, why did you sign with the Cardinals for 2 years?
Well, my response is pretty simple. I needed to make sure that I was ready to leave the game alone.
Right.
Because I felt like I could still play. Even in Arizona, I did have success in Arizona. I mean, my last year there, I rushed for 936 yards, or 937, something like that. And I was 35 years old. 35 years old. And so after that, I knew the game had passed me by. I knew that my love for the Dallas Cowboys and my love for the sports was intertwined. and I knew it was time for me to go. And so I was able to have closure by going to Arizona. See, oftentimes people don't have closure. They get kicked out and they mad, they trying to figure out what I do next. For me, I was able to say, you know what? I've had enough to drink. It's time for me to move on and go home, or I've had enough football and it's time for me to move on to the next phase of my life. And so Arizona helped bring closure, but I had the best time in Arizona. My teammates were some of the best in Arizona. I had a chance to play with Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitzgerald.
They were pretty good.
And Adrian Wilson and many other guys that turned out to be quality football players. And that team, part of that team, went to the Super Bowl. So my experience with them and their experience with me hopefully was great. They took the time to milk my brain for the knowledge that I had. They learned, Larry talked about it the other day, they learned a lot about, even when we were losing, how I still continue to practice as if I practiced for greatness.
Yep.
And that's just the way it was. I didn't take really plays off. And so, to me, Arizona was definitely something that was needed, something that I had to go through in order to get to a place to where I couldn't look back and ask myself, could I have done more? I'd done all I could do.
We're talking to the legend, Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl champ, NFL's all-time leading rusher, the great Emmitt Smith, here at Radio Row for Super Bowl 58. We're hanging out at table 22. That's not a coincidence, right?
No.
On this table, we have the number 22, and we have your bottle of tequila, Tequila Herradura. Talk a little bit about that. I mean, I know it's early in the morning, but it's still Vegas. I mean, we open this bottle up. What are we doing?
It is early. You can open that bottle. I'm not going to open it up for you. I'm going to let you choose your own poison for your own drink.
Talk about it. Talk about the tequila. I mean, how did you get involved with that?
I've been working with Tequila Herradura for 13 years now. We started back in 2010 at the Super Bowl 45. And I found the Herradura brand through a relationship. I was, matter of fact, I was doing Dance with the Stars. And
I know, my mom tells me all the time.
I was sitting at the bar at the L'Ermitage, and I asked for some tequila. They didn't have that particular brand. And then the bartender suggested Tequila Herradura. I had it. It was a repo, I believe it was. I liked it. I told my marketing people what I had, because my marketing guy that traveled with me most of the time, he and I would find tequila, and we'd just sit down and just drink tequila together and talk about what's coming up. And so 6 months later, or almost a year and a half later, something like that, he called me up and said, I got a deal for you. It's Tequila Herradura. I said, let's do it. Let's do it. And so that was before the category exploded to where it's at to this day. Today you have so many different brands out there, and Tequila Herradura has evolved not only from this silver right here, we go to the double barrel reposados, then we go to the Anejos, and then we go to the ultra Anejos, then you go to Selección Suprema, then you go to the Legends, and then you keep going.
You had me at tequila.
It's all tequila. But that category has grown tremendously, and I'm just glad to be a part of the brand.
Then I want to ask you about the Ring of Honor. Obviously, you have many accolades, and you're in the Ring of Honor. Thoughts on Jimmy Johnson getting in there?
Man,
I mean, that was a fun night.
That was a superb night. Yeah. That was a great night that we all got a chance to experience and share in, because
you can watching on TV. You can see when you embraced him and he embraced you. You could see the love. I could see it from in Boston on my TV.
You know, you see that.
Yes.
That's the love that you want to see from player to coach. Mm-hmm. That's the love that you want to see from player to player.
Yep.
And that's what you saw naturally. It wasn't contrived.
No.
It was naturally done. Yep. So that is the atmosphere that Jimmy created. Even though it was hard work and he demanded a lot of you, you have to yield yourself and say, okay, can I trust this man to take me to a level of greatness? And that's what we did. And that's what players have to do in order to reach their level of greatness. You have to trust the man that's leading you. If you don't trust the man that's leading you, or the man that's leading you is manipulating you, and you know that as a player, that's a problem. And so for us, Jimmy, man, there's no better leader than Jimmy. I had two great leaders in my whole career. Jimmy was one, and my high school coach, Dwight Thomas, was there.
That is awesome. Final question. You were a dynasty, 3 Super Bowl wins. Chiefs win. They have 3.
Right.
Are they a dynasty?
They got 3 and 5.
Yep.
We had 3 and 4. As a matter of fact, they lost one, right?
Yes.
We didn't. But they are definitely moving into the category. And here's the beautiful thing about the Chiefs. People forget this, but I don't. They were birthed in Dallas.
All right.
And they moved to Kansas City on a coin toss. But I'm wishing them the best. I just want the 49ers to win.
There you go. All right. Hey, one more time. Tequila Herradura. Why should people drink that?
Because it's distilled in the fermentation process that they take all of the tequilas through is like no other. The natural fermentations and everything else, everybody does these things, but Tequila Herradura not only has 22,000 acres of
22 again. There's that number.
22,000 acres of agave plants, blue agave. And so that whole hacienda down there in Monteton is amazing. If you never had the experience of going down and walking the hacienda and seeing the whole entire process, how they basically just take the agaves out of the field, chop them up with the El Humidor guys, and they put them in the steamer or the fire, and it comes out. You get to taste that piece, then you go to the next one. They send that juice from one place all the way over to Western, and then they allow the natural fermentation of the yeast to be eaten. It's crazy. It's just an awesome tequila.
You do know I'm gonna have to do 22 shots now.
Well, you can do 22 shots.
All right. Emmitt Smith, legend. Thank you so much.
You.
Appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank you.
Let's do it the right way.
Thank you.
All right.
There he is, Emmitt Smith.